Hi guys, it's Brianna. I hope you had a happy 4th of July and I hope your internships are going well. I know many of you are wrapping up. The first thing I want to do is apologize for this video being so late. I read my sheet wrong and I did not know that it was due 2 weeks ago, but I was informed of that today. I'm making the video now and I will post it now, and I hope I didn't hold you guys up on responding or anything else. And again, I apologize. So let's get started. Week 4, or module 4, is all about how to give feedback. And the book says it's one of the most difficult skills to learn. It also says that we should use the SBI, or Situation Behavior Impact Model. It also says we should use a 80-20 rule when giving feedback. The 80% is positive feedback, and it's like congratulating the worker or acknowledging things that they did right. The 20% is negative feedback, and it's things that should be changeable. So the S in situation the S in SBI stands for situation, and when describing this, you should give as much information as you can. The reason for this is because you want the person that's receiving the feedback to understand exactly what you're talking about and when it happened. The B in SBI stands for behavior. And this should only include things that you can see. So no feelings in the B of SBI should be included at all. The I stands for impact, and it's how that behavior made you feel. So I'm going to give you guys an example of that, hopefully to clarify this up for you. So say you're a health director, and it's time for your meeting with all of your department supervisors, and you guys are in there discussing what happened throughout the month. And one of the workers decides to make a comment that social service workers work harder than WIC employees. And that kind of adds tension to the room, but the meeting goes on. Well, later you ask an employee to come into your office, and now it's time for you to provide some feedback. So first, you describe the situation. You're going to say, hey, remember when we were in our meeting this morning at 10 o'clock? So they know what you're talking about. The behavior part is going to say, remember we were in our meeting at 10 o'clock and you said social service workers work harder than WIC employees. So now they know exactly what you're talking about. That's the behavior that you're addressing. It made me feel like some of my workers aren't working hard, and it also made them embarrassed because you said that in front of their boss. So now they know how it made you feel, how it made others feel, and they also should take responsibility for their actions at this time. So when giving feedback, you should be clear and you should be kind. You should be specific and you should focus on changeable things. You should speak and look directly at the person so that they know that you're giving them your undivided attention and that this issue is really, really important to you. And you should also use the SBI model that I just described to you. Again, it stands for situation, behavior, and impact. When receiving feedback from others, because let's say you aren't the department head, let's say you're the employee that made the comment or the joke, and yeah, everybody laughed at the time, but it was still inappropriate. Maybe you didn't realize that. So it's up to your boss, your manager, your supervisor, or even if you're just in a group of friends and you made a comment, maybe your friend wants to talk to you and give you some advice. We all need to be able to receive feedback appropriately. So keeping that in mind, the first thing you should do, or something you should always do, is say thank you. That person took the time to try and help you because you did something inappropriate, or maybe you didn't do something the right way. So you say thank you. You should always ask questions if what they gave was unclear, because you always want to know exactly what they're talking about. Don't get defensive and try to justify it, and give yourself time to process it so you really understand what they mean. As a leader, if you become a leader later on in life, since we're all leaders now, if you give no feedback to your employees and they're doing something wrong, they're going to continue to do that because you didn't tell them anything otherwise. So if you don't address the inappropriate joke, they're going to continue to do it. That's why feedback is so important. If you give feedback improperly, it could cause confusion. So with that in mind, let's all try to give feedback appropriately as we become leaders. Thank you.